much stuff floating around. I don't know. People trying to say they wasn't together.
Basically was trying to get into a threesome.
Guess what? Lady K experienced that. He didn't have the kids, but I found out later he had a wife. He didn't know that I found out, but I found out because, you know, a woman intuition is always on point. So ladies, if the red flags and the intuitions is going off, believe yourself.
Wait a minute. This dude had a whole wife at home?
A whole wife at home, talking about he looking for a wife. Anyways, we're not going to, yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
A lot of them do that. A lot of them do that. And also too, like we really got to be careful out there, because when we are, I mean, I'm pretty sure people know this, but when you are meeting up, you know, I understand that people want to meet up for adult entertainment, adult time, but you really got to screen these people. You don't know who they are. And one thing too, spirits are real. So if you're having relations with that person, then sometimes you wonder why you act in a certain way. You don't know what type of other spirits that people are carrying. So I'm just going to say this. I know we're adults, but that's don't be so quick, you know, to go to Motel 6. I'm just saying.
People still go to Motel. Never mind.
Don't
anyway,
quick,
so
don't be quick to go to Motel 6. That was catchy.
Right. I'm so shocked people go to Motel 6, but that's not the point. The point is, I think what happened is, you know, during the pandemic, everyone had to stay at home. Right. And of course, with this Omicron virus, I think people are going to have to still stay at home, unfortunately, but totally different experience. But I think when all that happened, or all this still going on, I think for the most part, everybody is just kind of like, we're outside and they're just getting antsy all of a sudden because they indoors and what have you, and they just want to, you know, feel something. And I think, unfortunately, people's standards have kind of lowered when it comes to dating people or being intimate with people or having, as you say, adult time. Yeah, people's standards have come somewhat lowered because it's just kind of like, you know what, I'm going to do me in 2021, which, you know, in 2022, people are still doing themselves. And then I'm just going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to be careful. That's all I'm going to do.
And you know what?
Never mind that. But
right. I don't want to scare nobody, but, you know, I'm just bringing up the disadvantage sides of dating. So I want to also add this too. There was actually an article, and this is all spread on the news too, about be careful who you date and how fast you make them your man, and, you know, or your woman. But this long story short, this woman and this man got into an altercation and they got really heated, and the guy left. And when he left, the kids say, "Mommy, you know, he's going around to the back." And she's like, what the hell is he doing? Long story short, he was pulling out the gasoline and he was trying to set her house on fire. Now, ladies, you got to be careful when you have kids and who you bring around your kids. These people is crazy. Yes.
So homeboy was getting his Lisa left eye on.
If you want to call it that way, yes.
So dude was getting his left eye on, instead of setting the whole bathtub on fire, just so happened to catch the whole house on fire. Shout out to Andre Rising. But it just, he was trying to set the house on fire.
Listen, he was attempting, because he pulled out the guy, and I think that's very scary. But I want to say this, right?
Built different.
It's so different. But remember what I said,
different out here. It's not even funny.
Remember what I said in the beginning? How early people show signs. They show signs, but we neglect the signs. And I'm pretty sure she probably saw something, but before you start bringing people around your kids, you gotta be scared. There's so many scary stories out there about, you know, men molesting children and raping them. Like, it's so scary. You know, there's a lot of predators out there. They use these dating sites intentionally. Again, I'm not gonna scare no one into dating, but I just wanted to talk about the disadvantages first, so we can lay it out there, just to know that these stories are heartbreaking. And also too, one more article I wanted to share about, one more story. There was a gentleman who was married, and he was going through I think he went through a divorce with his first wife, but they was having a custody battle. And within the custody battle, she was saying that, how he's violent. And also too, she was displaying that she was scared for her kids because she said allegedly he assaulted the kids, in a sexual manner, and he's trying to defend his character, right? And he's getting upset, and he could, and he even actually, I'm trying to figure if I can find a clip, but he actually went on social media before he killed his ex-wife. But prior to him going to her house to kill her, he killed the girlfriend that was pregnant with his baby, and she said something to the extent about you're crazy and stuff like that, and you're never going to see this baby. So that triggered him, to do that to her first, and then go to the ex-wife and kill her. And this is what I'm saying, that you gotta be careful out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that was a lot.
Okay, can we provide some of these people some dating tips?
Yes.
Real quick. Let me go first, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, fellas. I mean, we've heard stories like, dudes burning houses down and dudes shooting people, but y'all want to call me the beta male. Let's be real. If somebody pisses you off like that, walk away. Walk away. Like, don't even fool with that person. Seriously, don't even mess with that person. I mean, from what I know, success is the best revenge. Okay, absolutely. Just do what you got to do better. Okay, right. Stop simping. I know a lot of people use that term incorrectly, and let me let you in on what simping is. Simping is simply this: if you catch your girl in bed with somebody else, and you all of a sudden pull out a shotgun and smoke both of them, guess what? You simping. Why? Because you are going to jail for murder. And yes, everyone wants to come at me and say, well, what about crime of passion? What about such? Listen, I understand that you got to stand your ground. I understand you got crime of passion. I understand that you got breaking and entering and you're protecting. But let's be real. If you caught your girl with somebody else, do not, and I repeat, do not retaliate, because all you're going to do is put yourself in a bad light, because you're the one, how can I say this? You're the one who's going to look bad in this situation because you're defending somebody that don't really give a damn about you. All right?
You know what?
I mean, Willie D said it best. Let a hoe be a hoe.
But can I say something?
Seriously, let a hoe be a hoe. I'm sorry for saying it like that, but seriously, you got to just let them do that. Go ahead.
Here's what I want to say, right? And this is what I said about be open in the beginning about what you want, right? And you never know sometimes the agreement people may have in their relationships, but you got to put some respect and boundaries on it. So remember how I said in the beginning, a lot of people follow the polygamy lifestyle, and depending on how you set up the dynamics, it might be okay for your spouse to step out and do them. However, if that was not the agreement in the beginning, and you are not being transparent and you're stepping out on that person, then you're the shady one, because you couldn't even have the bold conversation about what you really want. And I really see that a lot of people struggle with that. But my whole thing is, there's billions of people here on this earth. Why do you have your eyes set on one person who wants something different from you, when you can just go out there and say, hey, this is what I want. Is this what you want? Are we in a similar boat? Like, I'm trying to understand, why is it so hard for people just to go out and say, I'm gonna go find that person until they want what I want? There's billions of people on this earth. I don't understand that. But I'm gonna move on from that. Since we're talking about giving tips, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that have stalkerish tendencies. I got a story for days, so I got a story for you. But then after the story, I'm gonna provide you the tip. How I handle it is the tip. Okay. So there was a person that I got reacquainted with, and we knew each other for like over 20 years, and he was trying to pursue me, right? And there were incidents where we were supposed to meet up and we didn't get a chance to. But then I also find out too that, again, he was not being transparent with me. He would say things, but his actions were showing something different. So what I did was, hey, I said, you know what, this is not going to work. I'm not mad at nobody. You know, it was okay. You know, I just want to move on with my life. So he was like, okay, Kalima, maybe every so often, every couple of weeks, he'll text in or he'll, you know, try to send a message to me. Hey, you know, can I correct my wrongs and stuff like that? I'm like, listen, at this point right now, I really don't want to be bothered with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go into depth on what he did, but it put a bad taste in my mouth. So I don't want to be bothered with you, sir. You know, you show your true colors. I'm not upset because I want you to show your true colors so I can make a decision and say, am I going to vet this person or not? And obviously I didn't. So moving forward again, he's making attempts to contact me. I'm like, listen, let me tell you something right now. And I blocked them on one platform. So I said, listen, let me tell you something. I said, just respect my decision, okay? And just move forward. Now, I understand sometimes a lot of guys like to chase in the thrill when they can chase the woman, but in this event, it's not a chase, it's not a thrill no more. It's me literally saying, leave me the hell alone. I don't want to be bothered with you. And for you trying to keep reaching out, that's a turnoff, and that's stalkerish because now you look kind of crazy. So in an event like that, you know, you have to block them on all platforms. And also too, I have to say this too, I honestly believe in when you first meet a person and you get to know them, you need to give them your Google phone number. So I think everybody needs to invest into a Google phone number.
Agree. I mean, don't give your number out. Don't give your number out to people. I mean, that's your true number out. Because a lot of times, I mean, don't get me wrong. It depends on the vibe of the person. It depends on what's going on. Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, I have no issues getting their actual number because I never had that issue with people giving me a fake phone number. I understand there was this phone number back in the 90s and the 2000s that if you saw somebody, they just give you a phone number, and then when they call that number and that actually says, yeah, this is a fake phone number because she thought you was a creep. But never mind.
But she really didn't want to talk to you.
Correct. That too. But now women are straight up bold, because I'll share a quick story. I'm at a bar with some friends, and there's this woman sitting at the corner of the bar. And this guy, you know, obviously guy was trying to pursue this woman, walked up to her. I mean, he was maybe no more than 3 feet from her, and he didn't even get a word out. She said, I smelled your breath coming all the way from over there. And we're all like, damn. Okay. Yeah.
That was crazy.
How do you
tell somebody?
How do you recover from that?
I mean, I understand you being honest with someone, but sometimes too, you got to be careful, especially as ladies. You got to be careful. There's too many of us coming up on the news missing. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's true, but let's keep it in perspective. Sometimes you just got to have a vibe check. I understand that a lot of people just don't. I mean, they can't get a clue, they can't read the room, or they can't do this or that. But you just got to understand, like, okay, like for instance, case in point, if I'm talking to somebody and we're having a conversation, usually more times than enough, that's a good vibe. Okay, this person have a good conversation. Okay, we're clicking on some levels. But if I'm talking to some person and they're coming back with one, maybe 2 words, and they keep repeating, they're like, oh, I'm fine. How about you? Mm-mm.
Right. It's funny that you talked about the vibe.
No, the vibes.
Yes.
But don't go off and just tell somebody that they breath stink and you haven't even gotten close with them. I mean, I understand that you don't want to talk to homeboy, or you may be having a bad day, or you may got broken up, or you may find your old man cheating on your best friend or whatever, but don't take it out on him like that. I mean, damn, that was brutal.
You know what? Can we talk about the aspect as far as dating, like when you have an ex or maybe somebody you wasn't really into, but they're into a friend. I think we need to elaborate that because I see too many people getting in their feelings. I got a story for you. Yeah, I know I got a story for days. So long story short, it was two friends, and this girl was dating this guy. It wasn't serious. She wasn't into him, and she just kind of left it alone, right? So later down the line, the girlfriend, her friend, bumped into him, and they clicked. They was really kicking it. So she told her girl, she was like, "Hey, I ran such and such, and I really want to go on a date with him and stuff like that." And the friend was in a new relationship, and the friend was like, "No, I don't give you permission."
Huh?
Hold on. Here we go again. As you said in the beginning, remember you said, "Oh, you can't." How the hell you going to tell a grown person that they can't date a person that they're into? And meanwhile, too, we understand is that, you know, the girl code and the guy code and stuff like that. But that's not. Let me tell you something right now.
No. We'll have a whole nother episode with that one. But no, that don't violate.
Wait. I'm not finished. We are going to have an episode with that. But I have to say this to you. In this scenario, this has nothing to do with the girl code or the guy code. This has everything to do with you and that high school mentality and you being selfish, because you said it yourself, and every scenario is different. The scenario was you was not into this guy. You dated him for a short period of time. Your friend is into him. He likes her. They're clicking their vibe, and you have the audacity to say, "No, ma'am, I'm a grown-ass woman. Let me tell you something." And if this was me and I was in this scenario, I'm going to tell my friend, "Hey, I love you, girl, but I'm going out on this date." Now, a lot of people was mad, you know, when this story came out, because it was like, "Oh, you girls are thirsty and do anything for a friendship." No. Because if you want to be real, that girl was using some gaslighting techniques. So that had nothing to do with, you know, the girl code. But I have to entertain on that, where a lot of people are saying that, hey, you shouldn't be dating people that I came across with. We're too damn grown for that.
Thank you.
What was you going to say, Manny?
Oh no, I'm saying that has nothing to do with guy code or girl code, because
right.
If you really know it like that, that's not a violation. But again, another episode.
Right, and we're gonna go into depth on that. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think we had a lot of good points as far as the dating aspect, you know, and sharing, like, you know, some of the things that we should be aware of. But then also too, you know, there's a lot of people who might get success out of the dating app. There's a lot of people who I know that got a long-term relationship, they clicked off, and that's a beautiful thing, because everybody experience is different, you know.
Correct.
I want that person to find love. Everybody deserves to find love, and we are human beings. We should not be alone. We should have somebody that we can relate to, have somebody that can be our best friend, have somebody that we can share different experience with, have, you know, go through ups and downs, because that's just part of life, you know. So again, I'm just saying that I believe in love. I'm a firm believer in love.
I do too, at times, but I do. But any other tip you want to give, or anything else you want to share on the platform?
That was the main things that I wanted to hit off, you know. So that's I'm gonna end off there, because I don't want to blabber too much. So I hope this was helpful and insightful for the people out there in the dating world, you know, because the dating game is just that. It's a game, and you just gotta know how to play the game.
Correct. Just gotta know how to play the game. That's all there is to it. I mean, if there's a moral to this episode, you need to learn. You need to know the rules of the game, and those rules keep changing on you. However, you have to adjust to the rules,
right?
Or just don't play at all.
No, you gotta play the game. But here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest game that you can bring to the table while you're dating, and that is your transparency. It will go a long way.
Be transparent. That's it.
Yeah.
If there's nothing easier out there, just be transparent. Anyway, we thank you for joining us on this lovely day of Kay and Manny. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Run those likes up. Tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Yes, guys, we thank you. See you next Saturday.
All right. Have a good one.
Lady K.